How's it going, folks? I am really excited for this episode. I am with Chris here from Windy Gaming. How's it going, Chris?
Hey, how you doing?
And we're going to talk about a subject that is near and dear to both our hearts, and that is games are meant to be played.
Yes.
Games are meant to be played. They're not supposed to sit on somebody's shelf and never ever get played, in my opinion.
No, they're not. I mean, that's what they're made for enjoyment. The whole, I see people hoarding sealed games or people collecting them but never playing them, and to me that's a waste. They should. They're meant. It's not like they're people collect things, and I get that. I could look at them almost like functional baseball cards because, you don't really play with baseball cards, but you collect them.
Right.
But you play with games. I mean, that's what they're meant to do. I almost when I see some people, never playing their setups, they have these big giant things, everything encased in plastic, and it's like sad Toy Story. Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
that's it's Toy Story jail. That's what it is.
Right.
It's unfortunate.
Well, for me, for a game to sit on my shelf, I can look at it and recall all the memories that I had because of that game. Castlevania 3, we'll use just an example. I got that boxed. I have it complete. I don't have it sealed. I have it sealed in a packaging that I can open up. But when I see that game on the shelf, I can go, oh yeah, I remember, my sister ripped the instruction manual and, all that's the personal memories and stuff that surrounded it. And I can also think about, where I got it from originally and, where this has come from. To me, if I were to just go to a store and be like, oh, okay, I've never played Castlevania 3 before at all. I'm just going to go buy this game and put it on my shelf. Then literally to me, it's just a game that I have no sentimental purpose with. And if I were to have someone come in and go, oh, well, what's this? And I told them, I don't know, it's a video game. Like, to me, that just seems so boring and almost stupid. It's like buying a issue of Spider-Man and not knowing who Spider-Man is. It just looks really cool, and it's the first issue, and yeah, it's worth all this money, but Spider-Man, he does what? He shoots webs? He's a superhero?
If he's a man, that's a spider.
Right.
When I see someone come out and not play with it or not know what they have, it just, when I know all the people out there looking for something, and I know this guy has it, and it's just a conversation piece in their home, or they want to invest in video games, or they want to do whatever with them. I mean, play with them first and foremost.
And it's funny too, because we were talking about this earlier, but you hear a lot of people use the word is an investment. I've spent $20,000 in my investment in all these video games, and it's like, why do you use that term? And it's sad, it really is, because in my opinion, the games right now, especially older games, are kind of at an all-time high. It's amazing looking at what the values and stuff compared to 3-4 years ago, or even further. I mean, to the point where we used to be able to walk into a Game Crazy and get 20 Nintendo games for like $1.50, and they have a buy two get one free special.
They couldn't give them away.
Right. And these days, it's like trying to relive that is impossible, because it's like you're gonna spend $60 to get those buy two get one free games, and it might not even be a game that is worth that value. I think eventually the market is going to crash for these games.
It's what I brought it up before. Like I mentioned baseball cards. I think it's the same thing. I think it's inevitable. I don't think we're at its peak quite yet.
Right.
It will. I think a lot of the values are gonna fall out. I mean, it's rough for people that spent some money.
Right. Right. And that's just the thing. I mean, you got these guys out there saying, is this game a good investment for me? Because I'm going to sell it later. I'm going to sell this big collection, and then 5 years down the line, they turn around and it's like, you spent how much for that? It goes
Exactly.
for $2. It's just
Well,
stupid.
I mean that's what I do with my shop, though. I mean, I keep my prices down because, I want them to be in the hands of people who even play with them, and that's really, that's why I do what I do with it. I want games to be affordable. They should be able to get into the hands of gamers. If I can hand you something that maybe, I'm just saying it, just something's $20 on eBay, but I can get it to you for 15. Great.
Right.
If someone writes to me or sends me an email, writes to me.
Right. Send letters to Chris at this address. You'll see it right below here.
If someone sends me an email and says, "Hey, Chris," someone, it's funny. I got one of my customers called me up or sent me a message. I forgot what it was. He says, "I need the Macross shooter for PC Engine. It's a pain to find. eBay, the prices on it are just jacked. Can you find it for me?" And I found it for him, and he got it for a very good price, and he was happy. I was able to take something that someone wanted and get it into their hands for an agreeable price, and that's why I do what I do. I mean, that's my thing, man. I want people to be playing with these things, not just putting them on a shelf and.
Yeah. I want it because it said Macross on it. It has no value to me or anything.
Yeah.
I just want it to sit on my shelf. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me either.
No, I want it. It's something that I want, and I think you should have it. There you go.
So kind of the point of this whole thing, as well as we were talking about games that are meant to be played, is you actually have brought something for us to unseal.
I did.
And what is that fabulous title?
Oh, I brought a game that's worth some money, and we're going to devalue the living daylights out of it, and that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna rip apart the box. Don't worry, guys. I'm not gonna be.
We're not going to go out and go hammer the cartridge or anything like that, or kick it around. That's not the point. But like we're saying, games are meant to be played, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're kind of going to time warp to, what was it, 1998, 1999?
Yeah, about that.
About that era. And
so a game's been around for 15 or so years.
Yeah.
Sitting in a box, never to be played.
Yep.
And it still has the inventory label on the side, and it was from a friend of mine that hated that he had it because he also hates sealed games, but he also knew that it was worth something. So he sold it to me, who he knew I would open the living daylights out of it and play it.
Okay, that's
for the
good.
masses.
I don't want this to be your last video for some reason because you're murdered somewhere in an alley.
No. He knows. He's fully aware of what I'm doing with this thing. Game's probably worth a couple $100 on the street. So.
Now, do you know value-wise, like when that started to raise? Has it?
I think it's been in the last two or so years. It really
Just kind of shot up.
Yeah, like crazy.
Okay.
'Cause, I mean, I've had like I said, I've been collecting, and I've had stuff. I remember being able to go on eBay even and just say, hey, I wanna, Neo Geo is my jam. That's that's where I live.
Yep.
But being able to go and buy an AES system for $75
Right.
just a few years back, or buy a whatever. And I unfortunately didn't buy one back then.
Right.
Came into one later, but
Right.
but buy these games that people want hundreds and thousands of dollars for now, and it just and then they'll never play with them.
Right.
Here's $10,000. Give me a game. Thanks for the World Championship card.
Right.
A little special, that one. That's
right.
a
That's a different boat. That's a different boat. Alrighty. Well, I think we're gonna get into unsealing this bad boy.
Oh no.
So let's do some damage. So folks, we'll be right back. Alrighty folks, we got history in the making here because we are going to unseal a very expensive video game. And we're gonna let Chris talk a little bit about this game. Maybe give a couple hints about what the game is before we reveal it.
I'll just reveal the thing. I don't know if we need hints or anything, but it's a game that people seem to hold in very high regard in terms of the systems library. It's a fun game. It's different, and sealed ones get expensive. Loose ones are fairly expensive. Boxed ones are expensive. But it's been, what, 19... I forgot what year it was from. 98?
98, 99.
Somewhere there. So this thing's been sitting, not being played for, what, 14 years, 15 years? Something ridiculous like that. So we're going to open up a Conker. Head Fur Day.
Look at that.
Most people should know it. Still has the factory seal. You can get the...
Let's zoom in on that. Look at that. Factory seal goodness.
And, I'm going to enjoy something I haven't done in just years because I don't get sealed games. This came from a friend of mine who wanted to play with it but couldn't bear with opening it himself. So, I picked it up from him. I bought it from him, and we're going to just, run my finger. There we go.
The tear of plastic. This is turning into like some weird porn movie.
Yeah, something like that. This is, I don't know, I haven't done this in ages. I'm trying to be gentle because, again, I don't want to destroy the box. Because I figure this will annoy enough people.
Remove the plastic condom from its prison.
With the,
that's cool.
Yeah. There we go. Let's get into this thing. Let's get away from that part of me. I'm just gonna
zoom in here.
Let's see, what do we got? I don't want to rip it or anything. There we go. One game.
I actually forgot that they still bagged those.
Oh, I remember that they bagged them, yeah.
I thought they stopped that after Super Nintendo.
So that is the interior of this now empty box.
An instruction manual.
Beautifully, very nice looking manual.
Look at, that's when they actually gave a crap.
Remember manuals? Yeah, man. That was.
It's more than 2 pages.
Oh, Nintendo Power Free Player's Guide. I wonder if I could still get it.
You should call them.
I totally should. It's 01 as this game, so I guess we were both off. This is from 01. This is the final throws.
Okay.
There is no due date by. I want to send in a check or money order right now.
Sign me up for Nintendo Power. Is there a Nintendo Power offer too, or is
there? Oh yeah, there sure is. You get 12 issues for $20, $27.95 Canadian. Remember when Canadian money was cheaper?
Yeah.
And a free CONKER'S Bad Fur Day guide. So would be great. Yeah, I'd totally sign up for that right now if I could.
Wow.
The precautions booklet. Epilepsy warning. Thanks to Pokemon, right?
Yep.
I think it was Pokemon's fault.
Yep.
Projection television warning. Game pack precautions. FCC.
What's some game pack precautions? I want to know.
You want to know what a game pack precaution is?
What should I not do to my game pack?
Avoid touching the connectors with your fingers. Do not blow on them. Or allow them to get wet or dirty. Doing so may damage the game pack, controller pack, and that's PAK. And or the control deck, DECK, or controller. Game packs, controller packs are high precision pieces of electronics. I'm sorry, I love the Nintendo 64, but nothing about it ever screamed high precision to me.
No.
I
was a PlayStation guy.
Me too. And my little brother had a Nintendo 64, and he thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and I was thrilled with my PlayStation. Do not clean with benzene, paint thinner, alcohol, or any other solvent. And yeah, I mean, do not rapidly turn the power switch on and off, as this may cause backed up game packs to lose your stored game information. I want to find, this is going to be like the Tootsie Pop question. I want to find how many
resets
many rapid flips it takes. That could be another one for you. But yeah, completely complete. It's got the fun stuff. So manual, free player's guide, Salia. One of those, and a nice box.
No poster.
No poster. I am disappointed. And I love the advisory because it was extra mature back then.
Well, this was probably the most dirty 64 game it had language-wise, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was the dirtiest game on Nintendo 64.
This was kind of the turn for Nintendo where they're like, we just don't care anymore.
That for a label. I mean, there's a new plastic smell you guys can't feel just undulating off of this thing right now, and I am so happy.
I smell it I've instantly been taken back to 2001, even though I feel
It's
like
not
it was
even that.
1988.
It's that new cart. I mean, it is. Oh, it's glorious.
Look how shiny that is.
Yeah, I can't wait to get some insert marks on this thing. I mean, just really just.
Do you want a marker so you can write your name behind it?
Oh my goodness, that would be wonderful. Or if I take a screwdriver and carve it into the back label.
Oh God, you're reminding me of my times when I still worked at EB Games and we were still taking trade-ins for the 64 stuff.
Oh,
And seeing some of the stuff come in that was like, why would you do that? I mean, in between carving your name in or the game smelling like intense BO, it was amazing.
yeah. Oh, here's my. I might try to put that back on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or at least I'll fold it up and leave it in the box for, whatever. I think it's a shame to throw it away.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hey, you got a Blockbuster sticker where you just smash right on the back of this thing?
Oh, you know what?
Bet you we get a good deal on one now.
Oh yeah, totally. Or we'll get a big orange sticker for the manual that says if you do not return this, you'll be charged $69.95 for the manual. I always found that amazing.
Oh yeah. I think it's what that manual goes for these days. It's not quite that bad, folks. It's just I'm making jokes.
Video rental stores were ahead of its time.
Yeah. I mean, we have to play this thing because this has been just sitting there, brand spanking new, and just to play a Virgin cart right now is just I'm stoked. I've been looking forward to this for a while.
Yeah, we need to pop Conker's cherry.
Yeah, we're gonna. Was that edited out of the original game?
Probably. At least it was in the Xbox version.
But yeah, let's
pop this sucker in.
I might have avoided the warranty. I just touched the contacts.
Oh man.
The pack information. I just read about that.
All right, let's get the system set up and we'll get this thing popped in.